Now last year on FM, I bet you made some absolutely barnstorming tactics. I know I did, but will they transfer across to FM23 with the same success? Let's have a look. So last year I made a load of tactics, that many that I had to make its own playlist. There it is, absolutely loads of them. But will they work this year on FM23? So what we will do today is I'm going to take last season's best tactic that I made, the Stinger Zeo, and we're going to put it into FM23 with the same team we used last year, and we're going to compare the results to see if it's as good. Does it still work? So the video was called the 100 tactic, and the tactic was the Zeo remix. It was based off the first Stinger Zeo I made, and I made a better one, and we used Inter Milan, and there you can see it. So we're going to use Inter Milan today, and we'll compare the results. Now that one, it did unbelievable stuff. 100 points with a goal difference of 100, only losing twice, doing the treble and nearly winning the Champions League, losing in the final to Dortmund. There you see it, and they probably would have won that if it wasn't for that sending off. So it obviously was a cracking tactic in FM22. So it's time to answer the big question, how will it transfer over to FM23? We're going to do exactly the same. So we'll go to tactics, and we're going to press loading tactic. Now we'll go up to, this is how you load your old tactics in, by the way, FM22. Now I need to find it, so we've got to tactics, and Zeo thankfully starts with Z. A few tactics last year, right? And we'll load it in. So this is the tactic that destroyed FM22, it's fair to say. So I'm going to change absolutely nothing. We know there's new instructions now in the out of possession, so we'll see how they will transfer over. But inverted wing back on attack, a wing back on attack, advance forward, pressing forward, shadow striker, very aggressive, adding the mentality of attacking mentality, and those in possession instructions as well. Yeah, super aggressive. Those are the out of possession instructions, so nice and simple. They get stuck in one, that kind of worries me a bit. Good news is, Inter's team's probably got a little bit better. Lukaku's there, and he wasn't last year when we did it. He was at Chelsea, so it was Dzeko. But I do remember Dzeko was the top scorer, so he's got a lot to live up to. I'm just going to move Brozovic and Hakan, they're in the wrong places. There they go, and Mkhitaryan. We'll get there, crew, we'll get there. So that tactic from FM22 is now in FM23. We're going to send it to the end of the season. They've got a lot to live up to, a treble and nearly a quadruple. I have my doubts, but I also hope it does work, because then I've got a tactic ready for FM23.
3 days later.
Okay, we are done. Good news and bad news. The good news is they won the Serie A, so it won the Serie A again. So it's obviously can work. There's elements to it that are good. The bad news, no Supercoppa Italiano, lost that. Out in the semis in the Coppa Italia and out in the semis in the Champions League. So on the face of it, not as successful. Let's have a deeper look. Everything here looks pretty good. They've won 30 games. They only lost 6, but that is 4 more than we lost with the same tactic and team last season. If you look at the goals, Martinez and Lukaku both with 31 apiece. Average rating, same guys, and assists is dominated by us as well. As we go to the league in more detail, you can see the problem, and that's probably why we didn't win as much as we did last year. Winning 30 out of 38 is great. 120 goals is amazing. The problem seems to be here. We've conceded 44. That's definitely more than we conceded in FM22. The goal difference is 76. In FM22, it was plus 100. So it's undeniably what's gone wrong there. Over aggressive, not adjusting to the new AI means a bit more wide open at the back. So I guess the title to the start of this video, are they still overpowered? Will they work in 23? It's kind of a yes and a no. They will, but you will need to adjust things as well for the different match engine and that big factor that is the AI manager's ability to adapt. And there is a video on that on the channel soon as well. But the good news is it seems solid. Attackingly, it's really dangerous. We just need to tweak things and make it a bit better and more rounded for FM23, notably in defence. Instantly, I'm looking at the inverted wing back on attack and the wing back on attack on the other side. Those could be adjusted. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go away, remix the tactic again. So let's call it Zeo Remix, and we might have a brand new tactic for FM23. As we look a bit deeper, you can see the problems. It's defending. Our defending numbers warrant a closer look. Too right, mate, because we are right in this zone of fewer blocks and fewer clearances, so they weren't doing the job. You can see how low down we are. That's not good. Of course, that could be down to us dominating a lot of matches, but still, I'd like to see that higher up. Tackling, we were good, right in that border there, but strong tackling and lots of tackles, so there's not a problem there. and we gained most of our possession just before the halfway line, so the press was working. So I'm thinking we were getting caught on the counter-attack quite a lot, the ball over the top due to the aggressive nature of the fullbacks and the high line. Not to be too down on the tactic though, because there's some big scores here. I noticed a big 5-0 hammering of Barcelona no less there. And as we stroll on down, you can see there's a lot of goals going in. We are conceding, but I think it's a quick fix. And if you look here, we beat Juventus 7-1. 7-1 against Juve. And Tottenham 6-1 in the Champions League. Only just lost out there to Bayern Munich in the Champions League semi-final and finished the season off with a 5-1 and a 6-0. There's not a lot wrong there. So what that says to me is if you've got a successful tactic from FM22, export it over, have a look at it, see what it looks like in game, and do some tweaks, because I'm going to tweak that one because I think it can, well, it can obviously still work in FM23. Just need to be a bit more smart with it.